Today I am going to discuss about the most important topic regarding the examination. When every one of you going for an exam, everyone has a doubt how to solve the MCQs, how to prevent the negative marking. The first question is whether shall I attempt all questions or not. According to me, what I suggest is always try to attempt the maximum number of questions. Then again a doubt comes how to prevent the negative marking. By making a small strategy, definitely you can prevent the negative marking. So I will discuss here about my strategy how to prevent the negative marking. I usually divide all the questions into four categories: category 1, 2, 3 and 4. In first category, it is all those questions which you know the answer, that comes under first category. Category 4, all the questions in which you don't know the answer. So you don't need to worry about category 1 and category 4. When you don't know the answer at all, don't even try to attempt the question. When you don't have any idea, you just go through the question, you find it like it is very new for you, you never had seen such type of question in your life, then no need to attempt that question because it is not going to get you any marks. It is where you have to prevent the negative marking. And the first category questions in which you know the answer straightforward, so there is nothing to worry about it about negative marking and everything else, so you can directly attempt that question. So two category of questions are out. Then you come across few questions which I have classified into category 2 and category 3. In category 2, the questions will be like you know the answer, you know the question as well as you know the answer, but you will be stuck in between two options, option A and option B. You are just confused in these two options. These questions should be 100% attempted. You should never leave these questions because in your subconscious mind definitely you will know the perfect answer. Just try to rule out, go for negative thinking and just push off the negative answer out and then come with a positive answer. And this you might have practiced in your need preparation, so definitely you can go for attempting such type of questions in which you are in doubt of either A or B, either A or C, like that. In that type of questions definitely you have to go for attempt. Don't leave that type of questions in a fear that you will get negative marking. Definitely you will get a 90% of the time you will get a right answer in such type of situations. And the third category is that category in which you will stuck in between three options, option A, B, C. You will be stuck into three options. Definitely you know that one answer will be out, means you know that one answer can't be the option in the given answers. So you are stuck between three options. Here if you go wrong then you will lose minus 1.4, but if you are correct with this question then you will get plus 1. In other terms it will be minus 1 or plus 4. Okay, such type of questions you should definitely try to attempt, but you should have a proper idea when to attempt or when not to attempt. Try to make this question into second category, that is you have to try to eliminate one option in this for sure. If you are not trying to if you are trying to eliminate but you are not able to eliminate one option in this, then convert these questions into category 4 and don't attempt it. If you are able to convert this question into category 2, then definitely try to attempt it. If you are not able to convert this question into category 2, that means you have to remove one option from the three options. That means you have to eliminate one option, then you will be left out with two options, either A or B or either A or C, like that. If you are converting category 3 type of questions into category 2 type of questions, then definitely attempt those questions. If you are not able to convert them, you are still in a big dilemma, then don't waste time, try to avoid those questions. I am sure that whatever be the difficulty in the question paper, definitely anyone can answer around like 160 to 180 questions. All the 160 to 180 questions will be from category 1 and 2. So you should always try to attempt more than this, like 160 to 180 definitely you should try to attempt. Okay, and coming to Second category, like which you don't know at all, and which you know but you are confused in three options. These type of questions will be hardly 10% of questions, so no need to worry much about those questions. What my strategy was, do 100%, give your 100% in which you know. Don't do mistakes in those questions which you damn sure know the answer. Okay, so concentrate on this, and it will definitely make a big difference. And never concentrate on type 4 of questions, because it is not going to get you any marks, and it's just like a mark cutter. If you are going to try to attempt this, there is a only point, just 25% there is a chance that you can get right answer, and 75% there is a chance that you will go for wrong. Whereas in category 3 questions, there is 30% chance of getting right, and like around 70% there is a chance you will get wrong. So avoid 4 definitely. 3 try to convert into 2, and if you are not able to do that, then just skip that type of questions. Okay, and if you come to the number of questions, how many I should attempt, I will suggest you like 230 is a good number. Definitely try to attempt around 230 questions. Okay, and most of the time the question paper will be almost easy, and little questions which will be a little lengthy. So don't bother about all those. Try to attempt nearly 230, and I feel like most of the questions are around 230 questions will come under 1 to 3 categories only. Like last at least some 10% is like 10 to 15 questions will be of category 4. You can skip those questions, so your easy and safe attempt will be 230 questions is the best attempt. Okay, now coming to the second topic about the time management. Most of the people have a problem in managing time, and don't know how much time they should utilize for doing each question. I will tell you, the thing is, uh, when I gave my exam, I always used to do one question paper 3 times. I will go first round, then second round, then third round. I will take for first round, like in 3 hours, I will give 50% of time to first round. In second round, I will take like around 25 to 30% of time which is remaining into second round, and rest of the time I will give for third round. What I will do in first round is I will go through all questions. Okay, after going all questions, I will mark the questions which I know for sure, and I will not even see those questions in round 2 and round 3. I will just go through and finish it up. Like, 50% of time means it's 1.5 hours. Okay, in 1.5 hours you have to finish the exam for sure. At max 10 minutes more. Okay, like 1 hour 40 minutes you have to finish at least one round of reading all the questions. See, last year's paper, most of the people said there were very lengthy questions. When I have just accessed those questions, I got to know that only like 15% of questions were lengthy. Rest all, I feel like those are not much lengthy. They are straightforward questions. So don't think that the question paper will be very lengthy and you can't complete the complete question paper even in the 3 hours. It's not like that. Most of the questions will be straightforward and a single line, and like 15 to 20% in every exam, either it will be tough, or either it will be lengthy, or either it will be multi application type. In such type of questions, definitely you will lose more time, but you have to cover those that time in questions which are straightforward and very simple questions, and also the image based questions which are straightforward. You have to save time in lengthy questions, and keep that time in other questions. Okay, that's the one thing. After completing the first round in 1.5 hours, or just 1 hour 40 minutes, then take a break, have some water or something, and then pause your exam and just have some water and just come for second round. In second round, concentrate on those questions which comes under second and third category questions. Okay, anyways you have left fourth category questions, just concentrate on second and third category questions. So what usually is 150 questions you will definitely answer. You will be like 100 questions remaining which comes under around 80 or 90 questions will come under second and third category, and 10 questions will come under fourth. So you don't need to see these questions again, because you definitely don't know the answer. Though then what's the purpose of seeing that questions? Okay, so these 90 questions you have to go through in a part of like 40 or 50 minutes, you have to just go through and you try to eliminate one option in second category or two options in third category and try to do these questions. Okay, that is the second round. In third round, this is the final round. It will be like 10 or 15 minutes and you have to go through maximum number of questions which you can. You just go through a quick review of all the questions and then try not to change the answer, because whenever you have seen the question first and answered it, it will be the mostly correct answer. Because of your subconscious mind, you will definitely go with the right answer. If you are going with some second thought, sometimes it might go wrong. So what I say is, whichever answer you have given in the first round for your straightforward answers, so try not to change them. Just have a review whether the thought which you have got in the first round, is it the same or it has changed, or else you might be in hurry burry to leave small keywords like all the above or something like none of the above, or some questions which will have a negative word in that, which might have missed on, you have picked something else. Such type of questions where you might have missed it something, you can just have a look and change the answer, or else don't change the answers in of those questions which you have given in first round. Okay, in third round, just give a quick review and be confident enough and just come out with the exam happily. Okay, that's about the time management. At least try to revise the question paper 3 times, not, if it's not possible, at least 2 times. Okay, that is minimum. Without that, I can't assure you that you're 100% perfect in the exam. Okay, next, what about how to prevent negative marking? I have talked about it. How to manage time, I have talked about it. And final thing, how to stand separate from others. Okay, uh, when you do this about two things, definitely your score will be comparatively higher with others, because other people will not come with strategies. They will straightforwardly come and try to attempt all the questions, or sometimes they will leave even those questions which they knows. When you get a right question, right answer, you will get a +4, and with a wrong answer you just get a -1. So when you know the question for sure, then you should never lose this +4 marks. You can even get this -1, there is no issue in that, but losing this +4 is a very big deal. Okay, so never try to go wrong, go leave the questions which you definitely knows. Okay, that is one thing. And one more thing, image based questions. This is a high scorer, so most of the time like 20 to 30 questions should be there from image basis or video based questions. But sometimes it will be more or sometimes it will be less. So just take it as a like 10 to 15 questions which are image or video based questions. Try to get 100% in those type of questions and never leave such type of questions, because they are very straightforward questions and you can definitely score good marks in that. Okay, and this is what I have to tell about all the while you do the exam. These are the things which you have to keep in the mind. Rest all things which we have covered till now in all the MCQ discussion rounds and on the group, I hope you have cleared all the doubts. If you still have any doubts, you can just message us, and we will try to make some other video, or we can try to clear up the doubts which you have other than this. I thought of covering only these three issues. One is about how to prevent the negative marking, and how to manage time, and how many times you have to cover up the question paper, and how fast you have to go. And the third thing is about how to stand separate from others, like how to score higher compared to others. When you score nearly 160 correct questions but you have gone 40 wrong, and whereas other person scored 160 correct with only one or two wrongs, then his score will be far more, means at least 40 marks more than you, then his rank will be something different. So try to prevent that. Okay, but if just think that if your total is like 170 correct and like 30 wrong, some other person with 160 correct and only 10 wrong, your score will be far better than that person, because 10 questions correct will be like +40. So definitely it makes it matters a lot. So one thing is definitely try to give a big attempt. Definitely go for at least 230 or 225 or 230 above questions you have to attempt. Second thing, try to avoid those questions which you don't know at all. Third thing, at least try to revise the question paper twice in the exam. These are the three things. Thanks a lot.